Hey y'all, how's it going? It's time to review Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yeah, you guys didn't know I was a Sonic fan, huh? I definitely am. Look, I totally got this shirt, 100% Sonic fan. But oh my gosh, yeah. What a fun movie. This was such a fun movie to watch, and I think I'm feeling a little giddy because after watching Morbius and just seeing that crash and burn miserably, this was kind of like the perfect remedy. It's like, let us take away your worries. Let us, just sit back, relax, and watch a fun movie that has like very little stakes. It's just a kids movie. It's a video game movie. Now, overall, this isn't like a complex movie. It isn't anything that you have to rack your brain over. It's not like Christopher Nolan or anything has taken over directing. It is pretty much like what you see on the tin, what you see in the trailer is what you get essentially. Somehow Dr. Eggman has returned and now he's got Knuckles on his side, Knuckles the Echidna, for the video games. What else? And basically, he just wants to seek revenge against Sonic, and Sonic kind of has the one up now that he has Tails on his side, who we kind of got teased in the previous movie. And so it's just basically hey, it's like any other video game where Sonic has to evade, Robotnik, and that's just what it is. But just what really tickled me about this movie, I think, was the fact that it was very funny. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of jokes that were I couldn't believe that I was laughing at them. I don't know quite why, and it's like a family movie. So, there's not gonna be. There was one raunchy joke. I was like, whoa. But for the most part, it's very fun. It's very relaxed. And Jim Carrey, without a doubt, like even though this is Sonic's movie, Jim Carrey is the one who is the scene stiller because that guy is just absolutely nuts. He's off his rocker and. He really has this command over the script. Like, I'll just see him make these acting choices, and I'm like, I know that had to have been him. Like, there's no way any director could tell him to have done that or, done this dance or have made this silly sound. So I could go like on and on just about Jim Carrey. I think he was the perfect fit for this role. Like, I honestly couldn't see anyone else kind of doing it. And of course it comes in, it's like, okay, yeah, this is Jim Carrey just being Jim Carrey, but I love it so much. What I also enjoyed about this was like the addition of Knuckles, who is played by like Idris Elba, and Tails as well, because it begins to ground it more into that Sonic universe. Now, briefly, I will say Idris Elba was not a great voice actor. I mean, would I want this man to be the next James Bond? Absolutely. Would I want him to be the voice of Luigi with Chris Pratt and Mario? I don't know, absolutely not. He does this weird, and you can hear it in the trailer. He has this weird, like, half British accent, and then he's kind of also slurring his words, and so it's this weird, it mixed with American. I don't know what he was doing, and sometimes the timing and I don't know, the overall pacing feels off when Idris Elba's talking, but Knuckles overall as a character was very fun. I think someone in one, it might have been The Verge or something, they had kind of described him akin to Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, like kind of like he's a little off, but he ain't from here, so we gotta cut him some slack. But yeah, back to the whole like grounding the movie into the Sonic lore. That was kind of my big problem with the first movie, was that it just felt like they really played it safe. Like, here's a tag along movie with James Marsden. It just so happens to have the crazy critter Sonic from the video games, and it just felt very generic in the first movie. I liked, they hinted here and there at a couple of things, but this one they really kind of stepped it up. They really put their foot into the canon, and so I was quite delighted to see just kind of all the little references and things that they could fit in there, and it really delighted me to like no end. I was very happy, but I think they were still kind of playing it safe. Paramount or whoever were just kind of like they were still not sure either how to approach doing the movie and just making it stylistically like Sonic, or they maybe thought like, well, if we just have a little more Green Hill in here and we have a little more human characters in here, it'll, it will be safe and we're not taking any risks by, I don't know, overspending on budget and CG or something like that. I'm not quite sure. And there was a moment specifically with, I believe it's James Marsden has a wife, and then I think the wife has a sister, or somehow, she was in the first movie. She's getting married to Shamar Moore. And there's this whole kind of arc that plays out between them that feels really unnecessary, like unnecessarily long. I was like, where are the video games? It's like, I think they thought the best thing to do, like script wise and writing wise, was to be like, well, yeah, we need to flesh these characters out fully and give them a background and have a resolution. I was like, the less we spend on the human characters, the better. And they kind of got that. They kind of like sidetracked Tom and his wife at first. And I was like, oh, great, they get the message. And then they were like, no, we can't let go of them just yet. So I get it. I think that they're going to do probably tremendously better, like after hearing all the criticism, like please just get rid of it, like minimal humans as possible, minimal Earth scenes, or just like, I would love it if they just went full exotic, making the scenes look like levels, not making it, take place in a small town. It gets boring when we stick to the status quo, and I'm like, this is Sonic. Let's get wild and crazy with it. Let's, take it to those levels. Literally. And one last criticism, I have a lot of criticisms, it might seem like, but I did enjoy it, was that they threw in a lot of pop culture references into this. I don't know why. I don't know whose idea it was to, like, every 5 minutes, oh my god, this is just like such and such, this is just like such and such. It's like, you're already a Sonic movie. We don't need, references to this movie and that celebrity and that celebrity. It was kind of distracting, and I don't see how, like, many of the children might even recognize what some of those jokes were. It was like Family Guy, like cutaway gag levels of like overbearing. So I'm like, okay, next time, it feels kind of lazy to be like, hey, we're gonna tell jokes and have this be a funny, script, but all of the jokes, or at least maybe like 60% of them, are reliant on pop culture references, which is a little weird. But yeah, overall, I was really pleasantly surprised by this. I gotta hand it off to them, and it makes me hopeful for what they can do with a third movie, and apparently a Knuckles spinoff too. There's a lot going on here. I don't think we need to go overboard on Sonic just yet, just because, I'm just overwhelmed by the sheer amount of movies and TV show spinoffs already. But no, it's fun. They really give video game movies a good name. I would say even better than Uncharted, or at least finding their footing. But I think overall, still, I'll give this a B-, because I think there's still room for potential. It's no Shrek, it's not the magnum opus, but they're finding their way. And I want to see more Sonic in the third one, more lore, more characters, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this review here, guys. If you want to hear more of my thoughts about video games, I think you should check out my video for Uncharted that I did. I kind of reviewed the movie and talked about the state of video game movies, so that's a good one to check out. Also, if you enjoyed this, be sure to give it a like and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the movie, if you're going to be watching it, and be sure to subscribe for more reviews, guys. That's about it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.